Illegal addictive opioids are flooding the streets of West Africa, destroying thousands of lives and fueling a public health crisis. It's happening in Sierra, in Ghana, in Nigeria. But where are these bills coming from? 5 million. How are they getting into West Africa? I think this is weakness. And who are the people making a killing from them? I'm on my way to the Nigerian Drugs Enforcement Agency, the NDLEA. Their checkpoints have become a common sight on the streets of Lagos in 2023. They seized opioids worth more than $1 million US this year. All this is 225 tramadol, which is illegal. Tramadol is a catch-all name to describe the range of opioids used as street drugs. It's estimated more than 4 million people in Nigeria are misusing some form of opioid. We're having a problem coming in from another country. It has become a big menace in Nigeria. And which country is that? India in 2018. The government banned the sale of tramadol without prescription and cracked down on the import of illegal opioids. Since then, more and more are being smuggled across the borders. These shipments came in through Ghana. Through the borders, they have been tracking him for 5 months. Would you say that the route between Ghana and Nigeria is becoming more popular in the last year or so? Definitely. It is Tamale in northern Ghana has been hit hard by a recent rise in opioid use. Journalist Yaya Massa Hudu grew up here. These drugs are destroying families, destroying young men and women with potential, who otherwise would have been able to help in developing this country. It's got so bad, locals have set up their own task force to track down the opioid dealers, the C, and, this is a Chairman Chamal. Operation leader, a tip-off, has led them to one of the poorest neighborhoods in Tamale. They'll be reading the place to see if they can get some of the music DRS. Oh, let's go. What is happening right now is the task force is here to arrest the drug dealers. It's an addict who has taken the drugs. This is what they found here. Just one. This is what happens almost on a daily basis. These opioids are highly addictive. Some take them as painkillers, or to help them get through hard physical work, but many use them simply to get high. They can cause breathing problems and seizures. Overdosing can kill. The main idea behind the interrogation is to get to find out who the suppliers are. The chief adjudicates the matter, and someone is found guilty. The person is fined some amount of money. You don't know the supplier. You see how displace yourself to this low. Look at kids watching you. The man in yellow is just a small-time dealer. But who is at the top of this chain? These packets are all we have to go on, but they do offer some clues. Hi, a good to see you. Did you get the photos I sent you from the red? The task force the other day? Yeah, I have them pulled up on my computer. Now the product is called Teol, the Ghanaian. FDA have confirmed to me the product is illegal in Ghana. Then I can also see that it says made in India, and if I zoom to the corner, there's a logo with an A and A leaf. It's important to look into that and to find out who is responsible for bringing the product into West Africa. The task force is trying to catch the traders and smugglers, but it's the source that needs to be stopped. So let me start there, and I'll get back to you when I have more information. We know the drugs are made in India. Now we need to find out who is making music them. When I put Tail into a search engine, the top results shows that the brand name TFOD Dual is registered to a company called AO Pharmaceuticals. When I look for AO Pharmaceuticals, their official website shows up, which actually details their products and manufacturing practices. It looks like a legitimate company, but it's the logo that really catches my music attention. I found teenagers in C. I'm mixing it a full with an alcoholic drink called Body, and there it is. The same logo, of AO Pharmaceuticals. It's not just C. Dewar, even in Ghana. I found reports of Taf Dual being seized by the police. When I zoom in, there is an A, which looks like the A from AV. In the same seizure is another, Product Tia King in the corner of that box. The same logo AO Pharmaceuticals, we also sent out researchers in Nigeria to see if they could find products with the AO logo on them. And sure enough, they came back to us with Dafidul. XX, we know the name of the company. Now, we need to find the people at the top. An undercover operative agreed to go to AO's factory, posing as a businessman looking to supply opioids to Nigeria. We're here to see Mr. Esh. Thank music you. Yes, sir. So nice to see you. This is one of the directors of AO and the boss of this factory, Viad Sharma. He takes them on a tour of the factory. Music. Came across like Ajit businessman. He actually showed us that the factory is certified by the world organization that cemented the impression of the world-class standard. You guys are due really massive operation 5 million tab. Let back at Sharma's office. It's time to talk business. This is a sample everything. The packet of Dafidul is instantly recognizable. It's the same brand found on the streets in Ghana and Koto LCU. It's stronger than this is Super Royal. It looks just like the drugs found in Lagos. This is T-King, the same product seized by the Ghan police in 2024. Vodi Sharma displays many more products that look remarkably similar to those found by authorities across West Africa. This a very powerful compar, but rate is very different. Double rate, double power about how they came up with OP that they make as a reaction to govern CH, which they use to also make understanding of the global shipping business, logistics of the operation. Buy is not possible nowadays because government is looking very STLE and you can supply by the SE, but on any not Lagos and otherwise Poli can arrest, capture the clearly. He knew that what he was producing was legal, but the fact that he was willing to talk about producing the ops for me and branding the ops for me and shipping the ops, to West Africa for me. All of that spoke to a businessman who was willing to take a lot of risk. I can clear from our custom means India. You can clear from your every client working like this. Sharma doesn't flinch when the team tells him who they're planning to sell the opioids. To do have local market in the Nigeria, can supply these materials. So we do. And our plan is to sell to young people 16, 17 old. We found out all L product, right? And you said Produ has really replaced market this pain. But suppose you can use the 2 or 3 toet in the one time. You can like this very handful for the H, but very harmful but customer. Cannot understand he want relax. Any medicine can miss you this a very unproblem. Music. But now this business Nigerian journalists have been reporting on this OPI crisis for more than 20 years. Finally, I was face to face not with some local dealer or transnational, small but actually one of the men at the root of Africa's crisis. Sing market. Slowly. Okay, one of the men who actually makes this op and ships it into our countries by container load. It's depressing, watching someone who produces this op speaking about it and describing it simply as business in India. Any drug made only for export must comply with the requirements of the importing country. Ghana's drug authorities told us this product doesn't meet their import requirements by shipping tail to Ghana. A is breaking Indian music law. Now we know who's making the drug, but how is it getting into Ghana? Oh, this is it. You can see some farmer art in. We found evidence that a company in the capital Accra has handled millions of the pills. I'm not very sure that these guys are going to be friendly, and whether they allow us to FM. This is the evidence that led us to Samos farmer export data, showing that Samos has imported millions of opioid pills from India through Ghanaian ports by a company called West Fenin International. Looking into West Fenin, we found the board of directors among them a familiar name. Vinod Sharma in Tamale. It's left for groups like the Citizens Task Force to tackle the opioid crisis more, of Vinod Sharma's DAF. All that evening they gather in a local park to burn the drugs. This task force in one small corner of West Africa is doing all they can. But as these drugs burn, production lines in India are churning out millions more, and the people who make them are getting rich on the profits of other people's misery.